Hello, folks. Welcome to Telling Tales. It is Monday nights, but it is not me running Monday nights. It is, in fact, Jack running Monday nights. That's hard to do. But I'm doing the intro. Welcome to Monday nights. We deal in lead. But before we get into We Deal in Lead tonight, let me do a bit of an intro to us, the channel Telling Tales. So we stream dark, fantastical, sci-fi, all sorts of interesting role plays for you on Twitch, and we also put them up on YouTube afterwards. Go check those, the other one of those that you don't watch out if you haven't. All of our other links are below, so please have a look if you're interested. Social medias and Discord. We have quite a friendly Discord with lots of folks on there. And Patreon. Thank you very much to our lovely patrons who support us. On that subject, I have put towels around the room, so hopefully my audio is better for the person who asked about that. We'll see if that's still a thing. Anyway, we are doing We Deal in Lead tonight, but in every other Monday is Warhammer, which is run by me, and then We Deal in Lead, which is run by Jack. On Wednesdays, starting on the 15th of May, is Matt returning with Simbaroom, which I'm sure we're all very excited about because that is our kind of flagship series here at Telling Tales. I am going to be finishing off kind of I don't know if I actually announced that we're finishing off lives, but we'll get to that. The last live session of Wicked Ones will be on, I don't actually know the date of it, but it's the Thursday next week, not this week. I believe we still need to confirm schedule for that, but it should be. And then we'll be switching to recorded, but we'll tell you more about that later. The Yellow King will be taking that Thursday slot, which will be run by Matt from May the 30th. So check that out. We're also rescheduling our one shot, which was sadly cancelled. Cloud Empress, I think, was the system, which keep an eye out on media and other bits and bobs for when that's going to be. That's the one shots that we do monthly on weekends. So yeah, I think that's me. I think that's over to you then, Jack.
Over to me. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, quick recap of the last session for anyone that missed it. Is essentially the Eleanor and Berthold were traveling with a guy called Sykes, who was sort of leader of their order, through the desert to an old abandoned mining town. They went into the mines, got the mysterious pink orb. As soon as they picked it up, sort of all hell broke loose. Mutants that lived in the mines weren't happy with that and attacked them. Sykes sort of left them for dead. Well, no, not even sort of. He left them for dead.
There was no debate about this.
Yeah,
he was an asshole.
I think purposefully left us behind as a distraction for the things. Even never mind, just wanting to
worse
beat
than
us
left
out
us for
there.
dead. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't save you running off. No, here's the bait. Kill them.
Seemed like such a good guy.
Yeah, such a trustworthy dude, telling us exactly what his plans were.
Yeah, essentially, and then they fought their way out, and then when they left, they were ambushed by Sykes and a bunch of other dudes with clubs beating down on them. So it was Bertold, I think, decided as a sort of Hail Mary to shoot this pink orb. And with that, it was a sort of pink explosion sort of thing. And then that was the cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm. And it was an amazing cliffhanger. And we're so glad you made that shot because it made that's the sort of perfect cliffhanger moment that as a GM, you're like, yeah. And then they miss the shot and you're like, well, fuck.
Especially something like this where it's not like D&D where you can, his AC was 1. So yeah, you hit. It's the shoot table. You all know what it says and what the dice are.
Yeah. I really thought, Jack, you were going to say, especially something like this where I had no idea how I was going to end the session.
I don't know how I even started this session, so I'm stalling for time right now. Well, yeah, so that's where we left it, and we sort of pick it up from there. The pink light sort of fades to black as you sort of lose consciousness. After some time, you start to hear some voices, but they're sort of indistinct, and you feel yourself being lifted and then dumped onto a wagon. You drift in and out of consciousness, and you sort of get a sense that you've been traveling, and then you awake to a rhythmic chugging sound with your hands sort of tied together and your sort of feet bound, and none of your gear there. So essentially, you open your eyes and you are in sort of a small wooden structure. You can feel, the rhythm. It's moving. You can obviously feel some rhythm to it, and in this small wooden structure, which if you've not figured it out is a train carriage, is your old sort of buddy that you were running with, Alan DeFern, who you thought was sort of killed on a job gone wrong, sort of, a week or so before the last job that just went wrong. He is also in a same situation as you, hands bound together, and you are all taken prisoner. There is a single guard in this carriage, and he's got a crossbow.
Did you say our hands and feet were bound?
Your arms are sort of bound like that, and then your feet are sort of, you're almost like bound as if you're in like a three-legged race. So your feet are bound to each other. So,
okay. So DeFern will be in reach of me.
Yeah, you're all sat on a bench.
Okay. I'm going to punch DeFern.
Hey, you!
Asshole.
You're awake.
How'd you end up here?
I was going to ask you the same question. You fucked off and left me.
Well, you fucked off and left me last time.
What?
I will look to Bertold. It's a big old mess.
Yeah.
But I've met Berthold before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what was this, Jack? Sorry, there's one guy in here with a crossbow.
Yeah, he's
okay.
He sort of looks up at you, all sort of talking to each other, but you're not. I don't think you're necessarily muttering. Are you muttering to each other, or are you being quite loud?
Well, Alan DeFern always talks with a low, whispery voice, so I can't. Am I muttering? Is it lower than usual? These aren't questions that we were
trying
to
for
answer.
the guard to not hear you, I guess, is the question.
Not specifically.
Not specifically, no.
Yeah.
So I guess, did you know before, or was it a surprise to you that Sykes turned out to be an arsehole?
I don't know about surprise, but I didn't know.
I suppose there's a small difference between being an arsehole and whatever the hell that was.
Allying himself with those creatures.
I don't think they sounded too happy that you shot that thing, whatever that was.
Yeah.
There were some
brilliant shot.
Tense words.
I'll look at the guard, presumably guard, and say, "Excuse me, sir. Do you know what that was?"
He sort of looks up and goes, "What was?"
He's an idiot. I've been trying to get a decent conversation out of him for hours.
He just sort of grunts in. Yeah.
It's like talking to a wall.
Is the guard human, a mutant, or one of the animal head people?
A human.
Okay, just a regular old human.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, I might go, "Oi, fuckwit! The purple orb, what was it?"
No. Fucked if I know.
I'm gonna turn and look at Eleanor and wink and say, well, guess that's one of us in here who doesn't know what it was. And I'll say,
I can't believe he doesn't know.
Do you want to know?
He goes, "Go on then."
We have
Wait,
to.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him. Jeez.
DeFern looks confused.
When Eleanor says that, he says, "Shut up, you. Tell me."
Hey, you weren't worth this. And I'll start muttering nothing to Bertold.
I think as you start muttering, he sort of, he's coming to, come closer to get you with the butt of the crossbow.
Yeah, I'll stop before he gets me with the butt of a crossbow and stuff.
We'll what's your name, sir?
This is where I don't come up with a name other than God. Name table.
A name.
Eleanor, how bad did they get me? Is my face still good?
Worse than ever.
Kind of like looking, trying to like catching my reflection in the glass of the train. It feels pretty bad.
I'm looking at you with the most frustrated gaze, with my one remaining eye and hideously scarred face from the incident that you may have been involved in.
He goes,
"What was the god's name? Sorry."
It was Steve.
You still have a Steve.
I couldn't find the name table quickly, so it's like
that's more than I've been able to get out of him the whole time.
Oh, another quick question, Jack. Can we see our stuff at all?
You can't, no.
Okay.
I thought you were going to ask for his surname then. I was already going
to. Another thing,
what's his dad's name?
Steve Stevenson.
Steve Stevenson.
Steve Stevenson, tell me your story.
Where were you born?
What do you get out of bed for in the morning to be a guard, Steve Stevenson?
And we're moving, right? We're currently in transit. Okay.
Yeah.
Does the what outside our window is that? I assume we have a window.
There's no windows, but it's shoddily constructed, so you can sort of see light sort of through the gap.
From what we can see, does it look vaguely like the terrain that we're used to, or we last left?
I mean,
there's many miles away.
Like woodland, which isn't massively unusual. You've seen trees before.
Trees.
So
I presume you've seen trees before, but it wouldn't be unusual to see trees.
Cool. I'm just trying to figure out what Bertold's plan actually is, but we'll come to that.
I was wondering. I'm going to say what it is.
The issue is, you see, Steve, if you don't mind if I use your Christian name, that we have concerns that people who are not good enough to know this information might hear, so you'll have to come in closer.
Don't tell him.
I feel like this needs some sort of roll to see whether you can persuade him with that persuasive argument there of negging.
No, I'm not negging him. I'm saying that I can tell him. I can't tell. I don't want other people to hear.
Okay.
Do you want me to make a heart roll?
Yeah, make a heart roll.
Cool. It's not very good.
So is that 2d6 and roll under 10, or what is it?
No, it's a d20. Then you want to roll
D20.
Your heart score.
Yeah.
Cool.
So a 20 is bad, isn't it? That's
yeah.
Okay. I rolled a 20. This
is you fucking know anything. It starts to walk off. You see through your lies.
Are we in a carriage? Like are we in a seated carriage, like a passenger carriage, or are we in like a kind of cargo carriage that has like straw on the floor?
Like a cargo one that's been made to be as minimally comfortable as possible. So you've got a bench, like this. A bench is running sort of alongside the walls on either side. So you're sat facing the other wall. He's sort of at the back door.
What was the closest that he got to us?
A couple of feet.
Ooh, close enough to try and kick the crossbow out of his hand.
You could try, yeah.
I think I would try, yeah.
We'll do it. I know in normal combat, a thing just hits, but this feels like more of a skill roll than strict combat.
Yeah,
so we'll
Dex. Dex, pretty good. Yep, that's under my 12.
Are you going to give us a warning that you were doing that, or are you just doing that without giving us a look? Right, cool.
Yeah, I mean,
you
kick
figure out what I do it.
the crossbow out of his hand and it skids across the other side of the carriage.
I didn't predict that.
Well,
I tried to lunge for the crossbow, but usually have no luck at doing it.
If there's a you go, Jonny. You got your hand up.
I was going to say the second that I notice Eleanor is doing that, I'm going to, in spite of the fact that we're all tied together, I'm going to hope that some form of momentum will, like, are we tied attached to anything? Or are we just tied to each other?
To each other. So
okay, so I'm going to dive towards him in the hope that basically either I pull everyone else.
Yeah, I'm with you on this.
Or
I had the same.
I'm going
to
try and dive towards the crossbow while being carried with this momentum.
But like, if you're tied to us, then you're jumping one way and we're jumping forward.
You're on like the right hand side, so therefore you kick the crossbow left, and we're going forward, and you're trying to go across us to get to the crossbow.
It just ends up like a bar in front of us. Anyway, I have exactly the same thought, Jonny. So you know, I don't know if that's an assist or.
Yeah, do you want to do another dex, but with advantage then, if you guys are playing together?
Does Jonny want to do that, and I'll be assisting, or
whoever particularly wants to do it.
I mean, I might have better.
You roll, Justin. You haven't rolled yet.
My dex is 4. So
No.
Do you know what? No. Do you know what? The thing is, right? My plan was if he came close, I was going to bite his ear and try and steal the crossbow.
Oh yeah, we're biting.
So I was totally prepped for this, so it kind of makes sense for me to do it. Really.
I mean,
I rolled a 1.
Oh, 1.
That's good.
And really a 3. So they were both pretty good passes.
Well, I'll take your advantage away from you then.
I'm also alongside with the biting plan. Big fan of biting and lunging.
I mean, if you want to throw some bites in as you lunge at him, yeah.
That was my initial plan. I don't need to do that if we're tackling him, I don't think.
Yeah, so you as a some sort of weird 6 level. How many legs doesn't matter. Yeah. As a threesome, you sort of attack him, land on him, bite him if you want. Yeah.
For what it's worth, I'm still trying to get the crossbow.
Like that, but you are on top of him. You have the advantage in this situation.
I'm still trying to get the crossbow.
Obviously, to now try and push off, but the weight of 3 of yous. So
okay, that's good. Can I get the crossbow?
With what? Your hands are tied?
Well, actually, I'll tell you what. While they're kind of holding him down, my priority will be looking for a knife anywhere on his person or any sharp-bladed thing.
Yeah, I think, he'll have a knife on him.
Okay. Should I make a dex to try and get it while tied up? And he's struggling.
I think if two of you are holding him while one tries to get the knife, I think, say,
okay.
Yeah, I think that's...
I might headbutt him, try and knock him out.
Yeah, I was. You know what? We're. This is why we are in this gunslinger.
We will as a group, don't we?
Cadre. We're all exactly the same level here.
Unless you both try and headbutt him at the same time and just like knock.
I mean, this could happen. I could roll the strength this time if you
go
think
for
it's a
it.
strength
Go
roll.
for it. Just
Is that with advantage or just standard?
I think standard. I think only one of you can headbutt someone at a time.
I got a 15. I needed a 13, so that's a failure.
Okay, well, I think it does some damage still. You've just been not enough to... Do you want to roll a D4 for sort of...
A D4 or D4.
Dude's having a bad day.
I got a 2, which is average, I guess. A bit below average.
Yeah. And with this, he is going to roll strength to try and push you off. Oh wow, she actually succeeds. That's yeah, so he manages to sort of gain some ground on you and get you guys off of him, and he sort of ends up on his feet.
Did I get the knife?
You did, yeah. You managed to get the knife.
I will immediately, kind of in both hands, just like go at whoever's rope is next to me because I can't cut myself out easily. I'll probably get my own legs and then work on the hands of the person next to me.
Yeah.
I guess Burhold's probably less involved in trying to pummel people. So he's probably
Whoever's
free
next
to
in
get his
this
hands cut.
set of 3.
He is going to ready. He has a club as well. Seeing you with a knife, he is going to club you. And
That's very rude.
that is very rude.
This is against the Geneva
Have we
Convention.
recovered our grit, by the way, at this point?
Yes, yeah, you grit and is all back.
That's good news.
So that's 2 damage. And it's you, Eleanor.
Okay, I'm down to 10 grit.
And he tells you to pack it in, drop the knife. He's sort of out of his element. He was not expecting you guys to jump up, try and bite his ear off, tackle him to the ground.
If he's in range of a club, he's definitely in range of a kick. So I'm going to simultaneously try and cut the rope for the person next to me and kick. So the kick's more of a distraction than the cutting the rope.
Okay.
Shall I just make a dex for the rope cutting more than anything?
Yeah, I think you need to make it. If you're trying to kick at the same time, you need to do a dex to make sure you don't cut your
Yeah, fair.
Cut my hand off. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully not. Well, I make it with a 2, so that's fine.
Oh, nice. Bertold keeps all his fingers.
Okay, so are Bertold's hands free now?
For now.
Amazing.
For now.
I will immediately put the knife in your hands.
I'll hold it threateningly.
Towards him, not towards a friend,
Yes.
I guess. Yeah. Cool. What is Alan doing, if anything?
I'm going to fucking throw myself at him. Even if I'm tied up. I'm just curious to know, were we tied with our hands in front of us or behind us?
I'd say in front. Well,
okay, then I'm just gonna launch myself at him, and try to, throw him off his balance. This is all I can do in this situation is do that. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, I'm also going to have cut my feet free, which I forgot.
Yeah, so he's not.
Yeah.
Fern has none of these. He's just a missile now, and I hope there's no open doors on this train.
Just because
the train gone. Like, oh well.
Amazing image.
Well,
we like that character.
Well, yeah. I mean, in and out. Like, we barely even registered. Okay, is that to do that attack? Would that be a roll of some kind?
Well, melee attacks just hit, but are you trying to pin him down, or I guess?
No, I'm just trying to shove him. Maybe if there was some kind of grapple roll.
I don't know. Yeah, there sort of is. There's an enemy actions table I found, and one of them is grab.
Yeah,
so,
grabbing might be hard. I mean, I suppose I could grab even with
Your hands are sort of that. I guess you can sort of,
or you kind of get your arms over him, so you're hugging him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think some kind of melee attack, and I think that's they just hit you. Say.
If you're going for damage, I think they just hit. But if you're going to go and grab and try and stop him from sort of taking his turn, essentially, we'll go with a strength. I'd say.
I'm going to give that a go. I've got better than even chances of doing that, and I guess I'm not even looking to. Well, I'm kind of mostly looking to kind of bowl him over or whatever. I'm hurling myself like a human torpedo. That's the thing, and I got 12 under 13, so that is. I definitely collide. Whether I do anything useful or not, I don't know whether 12 gets that. But
I think with a success you collide. Do you want to roll a d4 for some damage against him as well?
Yeah, Defern human tornado. Another 2 damage. Super effectual.
And I think you've got him sort of grappled, pinned to the ground now.
Stab him.
While this is going on, I will immediately cut me loose to Bertold.
Stab him!
I will do that.
The second I'm loose, I leap for the crossbow.
And I'm going to, while cutting Eleanor loose, I'm going to look over my shoulder and say, I would settle down now, Steve, if I were you.
I think, seeing you guys have got the sharp knife and the crossbow, he's going to stop struggling. there's no reason for him to try and fight his way out of this situation. And he sort of asks, what are you going to do now? I'm not the only one on this train, you know. There's, you know, a whole carriage full of other guards.
How many?
12.
Fair enough.
And that's just in one of the carriages. There's 3 of those carriages. So
It's going to be at
Twelve
least
carriages.
14.
I get the feeling you're not telling the truth, Steve, and I point the crossbow at his eye.
Be careful not that. Like I've got like Defern's like.
I'm assuming like Defender's got off.
Yeah,
now.
I'm gonna-
No one
I'm
has
gonna
said this.
suggest-
No one has said that Defern has had his bonds cut or anything like that.
Defern,
So you know.
I'll free you.
All right, then I kind of lift my arms up to be cut, and then I can kind of scramble around, I suppose.
I'm trying to threaten him to get any information we can out of him.
Yeah.
okay. Do you want to do a heart roll
Sure.
for intimidating?
11 or under.
I'd give you an advantage if you put in a crossbow.
Yeah,
you know.
great, because I rolled 14. I'll roll again. That's a 17. Dice, be no with me.
Is there a door to this train carriage?
Yeah, there's a
Side
door.
door.
Sort of. There's not a side door because you'd be sort of obviously sat on one of the benches, but there is a door at on the narrow walls of it. You know, at either end.
What did this guy say exactly in response to my failed threatening?
He said, "Look, yeah, no, loads of guards there. If you just sit back down, we'll pretend none of this ever happened."
I hate being lied to. And I'm going to fire the crossbow because I am driven and bloodthirsty.
Wow, we could have
Sorry,
said that.
Stephen.
We could have just thrown him out the carriage. I don't know. I say this after the crossbow has pierced his skull.
Yeah, you don't even need to roll for that. You know, a crossbow at point blank range. I'm not even going to make you roll damage. It's in his eye.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have any more bolts on him? Like, was that our one?
Yeah,
shoot?
looting
Shoot
body
our
time.
shots.
Yeah, he's got 4 bolts on him.
Mm-hmm.
That was pointlessly dangerous, Eleanor.
Look, he lied. I
With
hate
club
it when
and
people lie.
knife you now have as well.
Cool.
Well,
I will note crossbow with 4 bolts.
What was the other thing you said, Jack?
He's got his club, and he's got obviously. Well, you've got the knife that he had. So between you've got a crossbow, club, and a knife.
I'll take the club.
Nothing else on his body?
Nothing really of note.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
So, can we try and get a handle on where in this train we are? Like, if we're the back carriage, that puts us in a different position to if we're not. I suppose is the question.
What's
So by
I'm curious
peering
about
out
what's-
through the
What's in the carriages either side of us, especially?
Okay. I mean, how do you want to ascertain that? You're just going to open the doors?
If we can
Alright.
see through any cracks, then great. If not, then I suppose.
I'd say you'd be able to, there's probably like a crack or something on either side. You can see that you're essentially the back carriage. And there's an identical carriage, or what looks like an identical carriage on the other side.
I'm all for prizing some of these boards off and jumping out of this train.
Yeah, how fast is the train going?
It's a decent speed. I would remind you that you don't have your guns.
I ain't leaving without
That's
the
true.
gun. I'm kind of looking out the window and just trying to figure out if I know the sort of terrain. Jack, is this like how long have we been traveling? I might not know exactly where we are, but just sort of.
It's
does it seem like we're
woodland
miles
where
away?
before you were in the desert.
Okay, so a long way. Is fair to us.
A short way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We could. We could hop out and up and see if we can see anything in any of the other carts. See if we can find our guns.
I like the sound of that. If we figure out our guns aren't in a carriage, we could always pull the pin and let them go.
I think that if we're climbing around on the top of carriages, people are going to hear.
Well, they're going to hear if we run through the middle of the carriage with a crossbow, so we might as well try the top.
I don't like the idea of being shot at by someone I can't see, and then having to climb back down into this carriage.
Can we get out there quietly and have a peek through that door? Make our mind up.
Probably. These will be like the doors will just open to outside on these, right, Jack?
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
Defern,
So we can open this door.
Defern's not the most stealthy of individuals.
We can open this door and see if we can see into the next carriage through a crack, or
Yeah.
I suppose we should open this one carefully in case the other one has a window. If the next one is a passenger carriage, you may be able to see out.
I will shrug and start walking up.
In fact, can we look through the cracks to see if we can see that, ascertain that about the next carriage door?
You look through the crack and you don't see any windows.
Okay. Swing that bad boy open.
I kick the door open.
Feel the rush of air, I suppose.
Yeah, you can open the door. Are you sort of looking for a crack on the other side to see if you can see into the other carriage then without revealing that you've escaped?
Although I feel like Eleanor was maybe ahead of me on this one.
No, you're good. You're at the door. I'm holding the crossbow behind you now.
So yeah, I'll lean across the chasm of moving rails underneath me and see if I can see through a crack on the other side.
Yeah, you can see through, and it looks like you're looking into a carriage that's very similar to the one you've just left or the one you're in. There's a lot more prisoners inside, so 4 on either side, and there's a couple of guards similarly armed to the one that you've just shot through the face.
It looks like. Well, what I'll do is lean back and pull the door again, because otherwise I'd have to yell over the sound of the wind, I guess. It looks similar to what we had in here, but doubled. It's quite a few prisoners and at least 2 guards.
That sounds like there's even more of us on our side.
Yeah.
Maybe one of you wants to go over the top and we can take them from both sides.
As long as they're not alerted to us up there.
If they are, we'll push through.
Yeah. I like the sound of allies. I can go up top.
Well, if you go up top, Eleanor, then I can look through the gap, and if it looks like they do hear you and are distracted, that's the perfect time for Alan and I to rush in, I suppose.
Sounds good. I'll drop the other end and get the crossbow in best I can. Keep an eye out for me over the top.
Okay.
I'll start climbing up, I guess.
Yeah. What we'll do then is a dex roll to see how noisy you are. I think, yeah, you can keep your footing on there because that would suck. Oh, you failed. Sorry, Sam, you're out of the game.
Off you go.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeeted into a tree.
The funny thing is, there's a point when players do sufficiently risky things that you just got to be like, you know what? Hopefully, we've not reached that point yet. I'm
not like, oh, I'm going to butter my feet up and then run across it, you know?
Just a daredevil, what can I say?
The famous oiled train heist of 1842.
Yeah, I'm just going to run, cover my belly in oil, just go on the top of the carriage.
Well, if you jump, then the train's going to keep moving, and then you'll run there.
That's how physics works.
Ignoring the fact that that's actually backwards, but whatever.
Well, that's why you failed.
Anyway, I'm making sure that when I go forward, I'm keeping these in view, because obviously, if they can't see me when I'm about to jump down, the whole thing will be pointless.
Oh no, I'll be looking through to see the door open at the other end.
Okay,
The way obviously the big train.
We've communicated this.
You jump down the other side, unless they.
Okay, is it a dex roll then on top?
Yeah, do a dex roll then to see how.
Okay.
You're being.
Here we go. Oh, 14 over 12.
Okay, yeah, Bertold, you
There's no re-rolls in this, is there?
I don't think so. No, not that I'm aware of.
I remember.
Yeah, you see them sort of looking up. You know, what's that? They're not necessarily expecting to walk on there, but they can definitely hear walking on there.
I think I'm going to be waiting until I'm hoping that Eleanor has literally passed over their heads and they've turned.
Okay, as if they're sort of following.
But they're
Yeah.
distracted.
In the sense that,
Yeah.
and I think you sort of see one of them saying to the other one, "You check it out," like. And so one of them is starting to head towards that door that Eleanor would be entering through.
Okay, I'll tap Alan and open the door at this end.
Yeah, just gonna rush in.
Okay, yeah. I think
Cudgel them.
yeah, with that, we sort of go into a combat, but you guys definitely having the first move with that. So who wants to roll their damage first?
Defern's cracking heads.
Yeah.
It's for both of your the club and for the knife. So D6
Yeah.
damage. So
Right. I rolled a 5. Happy with 5.
nice.
A 2. That's not very good.
Are you both going for the same guard or one each?
I guess the one guard is nearer, isn't he? And he's
Yes.
gonna get screwed.
Yeah, I guess we'll both go for that same guy.
Yeah.
I'm also as you pass the other prisoners, I'm not going to look and see if they're like tied to anything. So I don't know if this is a thing, but I'm just going to shout, "Get him!
Get him, boys!"
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, this is a prison break. It's basically the whispered line underneath that you can't even hear because the train is so loud. This is a prison break.
Why do you always whisper, Defend?
I don't know. It's a carriage train. It's kind of my whole personality now.
Well, they got. I quite like it though.
The ladies love it. Not you, Eleanor. Obviously, you're not a lady.
Are you jump down then, Eleanor, and you're.
Yep. I'm assuming. Can I hear like a ruckus already started, or is it not loud enough for me on this at this end?
I think you could probably hear the "get 'em" shout, and then a bit of a ruckus. Yeah.
In that case, I'll immediately like smash the door down on this side, crossbow ready.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, a crossbow is a mundane weapon. I think mundane weapons again just hit.
Mm-hmm. It's a funny thing, isn't it? Where like in some ways mundanes are easier because you don't have the risk of doing nothing.
Yeah, it's because it's based on Cairn and sort of Into the Odd.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of inherited that part of it.
Mm.
The crossbow is a D10.
Ooh, very nice. Happy with that. We'll roll the D10 for. So when I open the door, what do I see?
You see Berthold and Alan clubbing and stabbing at one of the guards. Another guard about to sort of open the door that you've just kicked open.
Mm-hmm. Presumably, he's just turned round as well, which is quite convenient.
Yeah, he's probably got about to open the door, turn around, and saw a shout of "Get him!" So you are.
Cool. I'm just going to try and fire at his neck if he's that close to me. That sounds satisfying.
Yeah.
And get a 10. Oh.
10, wow. Yeah, it definitely goes in him.
Mm-hmm. I hope so. 10, no, it's not good enough. He shrugs it off.
Like crossbow bolts for breakfast. Cool, so let's do his critical damage.
Jack, can I retcon this club to be a machete, which is exactly the same damage rating?
No, because they would have had clubs
Fair enough.
being guards, something to subdue prisoners without slicing them.
As narrative purposes.
Well, I mean, I was like, this would be a nice way to get the machete that I'm going to keep with my character. So I was like,
you can find a machete at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah, it would have been fun to keep it, but that's fine.
Okay. Oh wow. So yeah, that's critical damage. So yeah, he's on the ground with a bolt through his neck as blood starts to pool.
Jesus Christ, Eleanor!
I'm grinning.
So this other guard is going to take a swing with his club at Bertold, because you clubbed him and did the most damage. So club is D6.
Wait, no, that was Alan.
Oh, was it Alan?
I
Mhm.
shanked.
You shanked. Okay. Well, Alan, take 1 damage.
Excellent. Where does he hit me?
Upside the head.
Fuck off.
Right in that pretty little face of yours. Fine. It's only 1 damage. How much grit have you got? Presumably more than 1. Otherwise,
No, I do have more than one grit. I've got him down to 6. But like not the face. This is the money maker.
what do you guys want to do? Now he's just hit you, Alan. One of his mates been crossbowed.
Well, I think Alan's on a pretty much a one-track thing, which is club people. You can't free prisoners with a club. That's what I've learned. You can only oppress prisoners with a club. So keep clubbing, and not the prisoners. That's my line. So should I roll for it?
Roll the damage, yeah.
Yeah. 5 again. I'm gonna more clubbing.
And I rolled a 6 for stabbing if that's necessary.
That's a lot of stabbing.
Which is my max stabbing.
Cool. He fails on a critical damage as well. So yeah, you stab him, and he reacts like a man that's just been stabbed. As again, blood starts. Where do you want to stab him? Are you going for a sort of a chesty stab?
I think I was going sort of in the side,
Oh,
like kidney stab kind of
Yeah, he
area.
definitely feels that as he sort of collapses to his knees with the blood
Need to
starting.
get Christopher Lee to tell us how that sounds.
Yeah. Speaking of
Here
sound,
it is now.
yeah, exactly. Speaking of sounds, I'm going to pull the crossbow bolt from the guy's throat and see if it's still redeemable with the horrible gurgling noise he probably makes.
I don't know enough about crossbows to know whether they are.
Could
Yeah,
be.
they usually
Sam, you
are.
know about bows.
Yeah, they're better than normal bow arrows.
Especially
normally.
through soft tissue.
They usually
It
have
would
wooden
probably be.
things as well,
Cool.
so they're junkier than.
Get in the comments.
But we can still roll and make it, something if you want 50-50 or whatever.
No, I mean these guys will have had additional bolts on them anyway. I know.
Or just like sticking out of them.
Lennon keeps shooting.
There's already been one jailbreak today. These are the ones that survived. Already peppered with crossbow bolts.
I'm going to immediately start looting this dude, probably before he's dead.
No, oh God, no! Please stop. You can hear a whistle as he talks through the whole. He's already pulled the bolt out.
I don't want to. Look, I don't have any stabby things, and I don't want to risk another crossbow at this dude.
I
He
mean,
could bleed to death.
these guys will have had knives on them as well, so you can have stabby.
I like the
depending
club.
on
Okay, I'll grab a knife as well then, and I'll just start cutting the prisoners free then.
I'm going to take a second knife if Alan isn't taking
Go
the
for it.
knife.
You can do that.
I think clubbing people is my way forward.
Like even if there's not a mechanical, I'm not bothered. I just would do it.
But you can throw a knife, I suppose.
Dual or two-handed weapons, attacking with 2 weapons or wielding a weapon with 2-handed grants damage advantage.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
So is that you'd roll 2d6 and take the better damage? Is that
I believe so. Yeah.
Does that count for 2 crossbows? Because this dude had a crossbow.
I feel like the advantage of the 2 damage would be cancelled out by the disadvantage of trying to shoot 2 full-size crossbows.
Having held a crossbow, holding it in one hand would be very impractical.
disadvantage to hit, but advantage on damage. That's the trick.
Well, there's only 2 hits, so that would just be.
Well, there you go then. It's flawless. Oh gosh. These prisoners, Jack. What do they look like?
They're in the sort of they're not in like orange jumpsuits. They've not got a prisoner outfit. They're in normal sort of clothes.
Do we recognise any of them?
You don't recognise any of them, no. They look like they maybe been travelling a long while, but they're not necessarily completely starved.
Do any of them say anything to us, or are they just kind of cowering?
They're looking pretty scared, but a little bit unsure of what they're going to do now.
Well, can I try to make a heart roll to kind of vaguely inspire them with something like saying, "You don't have to come with us, but we're going to go to the front of that train, and any of you can lend a hand would be much appreciated."
Yeah, go for it.
Right,
Jack, do they look like similar people to us, or do they look like civilians, as it were?
They look like civilians. They're not.
Oh, okay.
Gunslingers.
If I have a trait that's like related to this, that doesn't have any mechanical effect, does it?
I don't think so. I think it's just flavour, like
Bastard.
the traits and stuff.
Then I fail completely because I rolled an 18 over 10.
What trait have you got?
It seems like maybe I'm imagining this, but never mind. We should be failing a lot of rolls, right? That's
I
not
think
unusual.
you've got just a pretty bad character. Like, I'm better
Thanks,
than
mate.
50 on my
Cheers.
rolls. I've got
I mean,
9, 12, 11, so it's better than 50-50. But what are your
9,
stats?
12, 11. I think
I've
I'm
got
like
2 8s, Justin, so...
yeah. I've got a 13,
Yeah.
4, 10, so I'm kind of like
You're a bit low, yeah.
my dex is shit, but like yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't necessarily look inspired. Chris Evans doesn't stand up and.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Fuck's sake. Sit here and die then. I'll cut the rest of them loose nonetheless.
Yeah, they are grateful for being freed, but they don't look like they're necessarily going to get up and fight for you, especially if you have all the weapons.
Well, they could take other weapons. There was still a club there, I think, or something like that.
I'd volunteer the knife if one of them came up to me.
Is there? What's the next carriage look like if we repeat the same procedure?
It
More of
also
the same.
is a prisoner carriage. Yeah,
Who
you've
are
got
these
another
people,
prisoner
and what
carriage.
are they getting all of these prisoners for?
Yeah, it's true. Something weird going on. I might turn around to the prisoners and go, "Oi, why were you taken? Do you know?"
Well, me specifically, thieving, got caught, thieving stuff, and they slapped the irons on me, put me here.
This isn't what they normally do with people who break the law. Stick them on a train.
Also, that doesn't explain why we're also here with what happened to us. Doesn't seem to be any link there.
He says other than the fact that you've not packing any iron, you gunslingers? And he says, well, you're probably taken because of the bounty then.
Keep talking.
Bounty?
Yeah, the good man. He put a bounty on all gunslingers' heads to be taken alive. So, well, I'm guessing someone managed to take you alive and claimed it. No offense, but if I'd, capture you, I'd be taking that.
I heard a bit about this on the train. I was thinking maybe that's why Sykes turned us in, or at least that was a sweetener.
Jack. I mean, the law of gunslingers. Would Sykes count as a gunslinger?
He would be. There is I think called like Harriers as well, which are like sort of fallen gunslingers.
Yeah, but in the law of this, I'd be like, so he's persuaded not to take him then.
Yeah, maybe he's acting as if you let me go, then I can get more for you kind of deal. No honor among shitbags, I suppose.
What's his org got to do with it as well?
How many guards are in the next carriage?
Is another 2 guards.
Can we figure out how many carriages there are from here? Like if we wait until we go around a corner or something.
Surely Eleanor got a good view from the top of the
Eleanor would be
train.
able to see-
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
Up there. So there is 8 carriages. One of which being obviously the coal one. Obviously the locomotive then at the front.
So there's 6. Like, are they all look like this, or do they look different?
Yeah, you can't tell what's
Okay.
in them from the
So
outside.
I'll say it's 4 more, and then the 2 engine carriages. I will flip the knife around in my hand and gesture it to the guy who told us something. And say, "Come help us. We need all the help we can get."
He says, "Look, I'm a thiever, not a fighter.
Look, if we die, they're just taking you.
Do another heart roll, or do a heart roll for us and see how persuasive that argument."
What is my heart? Sorry, my mouse just freaking out. My heart is under my heart. Yay.
Oh, nice. So you have a friend.
Yay. Yeah, I had the knife. And just nod to him as he gets up, presumably.
Let's find that name table again.
I haven't asked his name. He can volunteer it.
Well, I was thinking, yeah, he's probably going to volunteer it.
Yeah, fair.
There we go. Let's go for a nice. Langdon. There we go. He tells you his name is Langdon.
I'll nod and just go, L. And then turn around to look at the next carriage.
What's your plan for this carriage? If any.
We could knock on the door and when they answer, throw them onto the ground.
Oh, before we do...
I've seen
Jack.
it work before.
Before we do, Jack, do I get any more crossbow bolts from this carriage?
I think Jack did say that they all have crossbow bolts.
Yeah,
roll.
they've got 4 each. So
4 each. Oh, nice. I got 12 bolts now. And crossbows. So you guys could be armed with crossbows as well. I'll keep my
Could
4.
be, but won't be.
Well, they have crossbows, just no bolts.
Yeah. Is anyone else taking a crossbow?
No.
Okay, I'll put a crossbow in this dude's hand.
You know what? You're such a min-maxer, Sam. Some of us just like to hit people with sticks. Is that a fucking crime? I mean,
I'm just
yes,
looking at it
obviously.
like, look, you saw how effective the crossbow was twice.
Look, I don't want to be at 2 ends of a carriage, both firing bolts in different directions. It seems dangerous.
I will take the knife back from Langdon without really questioning anything and just put a crossbow in his hand.
Yeah, he will say he'd rather have a crossbow than have to get near.
Yeah, that's fine.
People trying to kill him.
He can have a crossbow. 6 bolts each.
Do we want to try the same trick again?
No, it was a long way up that roof. Someone else can do it this time.
I'll get bold.
Well, that would make sense as well, because then you're only firing the crossbow, I guess, at the person coming in the other door.
Look at bold.
Fine. Yeah, I'll go. Might not be quiet, but I'll go.
I wasn't, and it worked fine.
True. Right. I'll start climbing the ladder up to the roof.
Yep. Do you want to do a dex roll then to see how sneaky you're being?
Oh, I rolled a 9. My dex is 8. So a little bit of noise.
Yeah. These guards react in a similar sort of way of Yeah, I feel like because of the normal noise of a train and the fact that you guys are killing these quite quickly, they're not really having much chance to do anything other than die. They don't.
That's
seem
how we like it.
Yeah, they react in a similar sort of way of following the footsteps.
I will follow DeFern's lead at the door since you've got the club.
You do see
Well,
one of them.
Yeah, peeking through. What's the?
Start to aim his thing at the door instead of going straight towards it. These are a bit more suspicious.
What I was going to say is, do the doors open inwards or outwards on this?
Inwards.
They'd open inwards on a train, I think.
Yeah, because otherwise they're going to hit the other carriage potentially. So,
Yeah. That's cool.
You're muted, Justin. You're muted, Justin.
Was he pointing the crossbow at the door that Eleanor's going to come through, or the one that Alan?
It'll be the one that I
or...
was going to come
the one
through,
that's
I
going
guess.
to come through.
Sorry,
yeah,
yeah.
the opposite side to what you are now.
In which
They-
case,
the steps
yeah,
going.
I think we just rush in now. Like I could have go. And then I'm going to push the door open and do exactly the same thing. Go in swinging.
The second the doors open, I'll fire a crossbow bolt.
So my plan was going to be to drop down and be like back against the wall next to the door, because I'm probably aware that I've made some noise and aware that somebody might be. So my plan the whole time was to like drop and be next to the door with a knife sort of prepped for if somebody opens the door. But if I hear something going on in there, then obviously I will go in. But I'm not going to be going straight in like Eleanor might have done on the previous one, if that makes sense. I was going to wait to see if somebody came to the door, basically.
Okay.
But then if I hear a ruckus, I'll go in. Yeah.
Yeah. Alan's rolls first.
Time to cudgel. 5 again. I like this dice. This dice rolls good enough.
Are you both going for the same one, or are you shooting the further?
Is it 2 again?
2 again, one closer than the other. The one further away is the one aiming his crossbow.
I think I'll go for the one further away, because if he's a bit back from the door, that's kind of a threat for Bertold. And also we've got another crossbow. That one will probably go with the nearer guy. So D10 for a crossbow, right?
Yes.
Sure. Okay. That is a 2, significantly less success.
Well, you're in luck because Langdon rolled a 10 for his.
Ooh.
So
we like Langdon. And was he going for the nearer one? I guess I didn't tell him to, so he could go for whichever one he wanted.
No, yeah, he'll go for the nearer one. He's going to shoot the first thing he sees. And then are you going for the nearer one as well, Justin?
Yeah.
What
Just try not to get shot, though.
I mean, he rolled a 10, so you can't beat that with a club anyway. You can roll if you want, but
Well, I mean,
already.
I rolled a 5 already, but I for my first action, if we're still on first actions, there. But whatever.
In a similar sort of, well, not through the neck this time, but this one, yeah, hits the guy in the chest, in the heart, and he falls to his feet. He is dead. Langdon's killed him. He's now a murderer.
Good.
You have to deal with that. The other guy, your bolt. What did you get again, Sam? Sorry,
A 2.
A 2. Okay, grazes him, but he is not out of the fight.
Yeah, at least I got his attention, so he's not going to shoot Bertold when he opens the door.
Well, I think he's going to obviously turn his attention around to you.
Just in time for Berthold to
Charge in.
Maybe
With
not.
Dual knives.
Yep.
Cool. Do you want to roll your damage?
I was going to say, to be completely fair, should this be a next round? Because I was planning on waiting, so it's only when I've heard noise that I've come back in.
Okay. Yeah. So, what are you doing, Alan? First,
I mean, is the guy with the crossbow returning fire potentially at Alan DeFern? That's the question, I guess.
He's going to shoot towards the three of you. Yeah, so let's. That's going to shoot towards Langdon because
I suppose Langdon did kill someone.
well,
He looks like the most dangerous character.
He does at this point. 3 gunslingers and a real dangerous character.
That's why I only carry a club. No one thinks the guy with the stick is dangerous.
I love the idea that
man with a
we're all
stick.
there, like looking like gunslingers, and he's probably in a nice white shirt and like a bolero tie thing, and he's just come in.
Yeah, it's like a quiz.
Taking
There
him
are
out.
3 gunslingers in this room. Find the 3 of them. Not point to defend.
Langdon, takes a crossbow bolt to the shoulder.
Yeah. His blood's on your hands there, El.
I don't mind.
Obviously, I don't mind either. I'm just saying. Cool. In that case, I will then charge at him, and I'm only a slightly less of a projectile with a club than I was without a club. 3 damage.
Cool. The crossbow would need to load this action. This round would be your action loading the crossbow. If you wanted to do that, or if there's anything else you wanted to do.
Oh, I don't care.
Could I make it to the guy with the knife to stab him this round, or is it too far away?
It's yeah, I think you can draw your knife and run at him to get him.
Sure, I'll do that. That seems more efficient than trying to reload when there's 1 dude left. Stab him D6, right?
Yes.
That's a 6.
Ooh, nice.
Effective stabbing.
Oh, nice. Yeah. You stab him. Where are you stabbing him? Are you going for a kidney shot as well?
I like neck today. I'm in a neck sort of mood.
Okay, yeah, you get him sort of jugular as you pull the knife out. Dramatically, Tarantino-esque blood starts squirting out, coating some of the prisoners that probably don't appreciate it.
I've probably got a lot of blood on me by now.
Yeah.
Apologies for the inconvenience you may have experienced during your rescue.
At this point, does Bertolt come through the back with the 2 knives? Like, ah!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stabbing into the corpse, like into his back.
I'm giving you a one-eyed, slightly disturbing grin as you turn up, Bertolt, with blood on me.
Well, hopefully I at least acted as a distraction, I suppose.
Absolutely essential, Berthold.
Langdon is freaking out, going, oh my God, oh, I've been hit. I'm going to die. Oh, God, I should have
How badly wounded does he look?
It's not that bad. Like, I mean, I've never been hit with a crossbow bolt, but crossbow in his shoulder,
it's in like the meat of his shoulder rather than anything bad.
Yeah, it's sort of in the meat. It's fiction. A shoulder hit in fiction's.
Oh yeah, that's like nothing.
I'm happy to. I'd go over and tell him he did a good job and like point at the guy. You got that guy right in the center, like right in the center of him.
While that's going on, I'll go push the crossbow bolt out from his shoulder forwards, so you don't pull it against.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. It was you did a good job. You did a good job.
That sounds like you're like really patronising him, sort of pat on the head.
And then I'll give
him on the shoulder.
I'll give him the crossbow bolt that was in his shoulder, so he can use it next.
He sort of says, "Thanks." He's pretty sort of white as a sheet. He's not too keen on doing any more now.
Yeah, you don't have to do more. That was good.
Langdon, why don't you sit in front of this group here with the crossbow, and if anybody comes for you, you can fend them off.
Yeah, that's good. That I'll help by watching your back. That way, no one can sneak up on you.
Yeah,
good idea.
Great. Thank you.
Do these prisoners look identical to what we just saw?
Yeah, similar sort of bunch.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll just gesture to one of the knives and say, "Free this lot too."
I ask cursorily, are there any gunslingers here? Anyone I recognise?
Yeah, no one you recognise. They're all regular folk.
None of you got the guts to join us in the next room?
We'll do a heart roll again if you want. If you want to do another attempt at a rousing
No.
speech.
20.
Go, give us the speech to Fern. The 20 roll.
I gave you the speech, which was, do any of you have the guts to join us in the next room, which apparently was not the rousing speech that I thought it was going to be.
If anything, they're going to betray you now.
I was going to say, though, this is even harder than in the last room because they've seen that a guy who has helped you has been shot.
Oh, because prison's such a fucking I'll go work in the fucking silver mine and get fucking lung cancer.
Yeah, these are very unviolent prisoners, I must admit.
Come on, guys!
They happen to arrest a lot of pacifists.
It's sort of win-win or not win-win, but if they stay here and you guys beat the stop the train.
It's a big if. If we don't.
And if they don't, well, they're not going to get in any more.
There's not any worse situation they already in.
They're in the position they were in 5 minutes ago before we came into the room.
Oh, don't value.
Do you know what? This is a real dilemma for these prisoners.
Was that pun?
One of them just leaped out the window at the Fern's speech.
I mean, good. Anyway, never mind. I'll go look in the next room, mumbling something about you can't trust anyone these days.
I will look at the guards and see if there's anything to loot. But I guess it's the same stuff again, is it? Crossbow bolts and knives.
And no signs of any chests that contain loads of shit that we've been taken from us.
No.
All right.
I'm just going to assume I have 10 crossbow bolts now.
I guess it's my turn to do the climbing up on the ceiling of the thing.
Is this carriage the same?
Are you checking? You don't just climb it up. Yeah, it's going to be the same. Climb up. I was kind of
this one's full of snakes.
Because you look in this one and you see what looks like loads of sort of boxes and shelves full of stuff.
Seems like a good time for me to do the climbing.
And we don't see any guards.
You can't see any guards in there.
Oh. Eleanor, do you want to prep the crossbow and I'll swing the door open? Just in case there is anyone in there we haven't spotted.
Sorry. Totally blank.
Right.
I'll just nod and then when you're ready, swing it open for you.
Are we good?
Open the door and you find yourself in a carriage full of crates and shelves with looks like essentially almost like a resupply for wherever this place is going. Food, provisions. Yeah.
Well,
Sealed
I would like to pry open some crates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like to pry open as well. Sounds fun rummaging.
Yeah.
And also see if any of them contain our things.
Yeah, exactly.
You do
or
find
anything useful.
minus your guns.
Oh,
okay.
But everything else.
Yes. You also find a reinforced leather jacket. So a leather jacket with metal plates on.
What's the armor on a defense on a reinforced leather jacket? 2?
It's pretty good. I think
It's 2, yeah. It's a rare item.
yes.
Mm-hmm. So it's time to roll which one of us found it then. Because
I didn't find it. I'm fine with my duster. I've got 1 armor on it. I'm fine with it.
I mean, I think it would be fine as keepers. I don't think I would volunteer it if I found it.
Well, then why don't you two roll to split it?
Yeah, should we roll, Sam? D6.
Yeah. D6, whoever gets higher.
We rolled a 5.
4.
Reinforced leather jacket.
It's rare, reinforced with steel studs and woven plates. All I know is that you look like a badass, Bertolt.
Thank you. I just swing that on and then re-put my hat back on my head.
Yeah.
And then go like that with the jacket.
I'm like,
you hear a whistle from across the carriage.
it wouldn't work with my
Aesthetic. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Your word, Berthold.
Is that because Alan doesn't know what it means?
This is not a word that he regularly uses.
It's a word that Berthold regularly uses.
Is that a word they use a lot where you come from?
Some parts of where I come from.
I realise a crossbow is probably too. Oh yeah, but I don't have my gun, so I don't have all my slots filled. It's fine. The crossbow and the gun are in the same size.
Oh yeah, what's the thing on the leather jacket? Is it 2?
2
No,
armor.
2 armor,
No,
but
2,
regular.
like encumbrance.
It doesn't say it's bulky, so
It's not bulky, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The padded poncho is bulky,
Mhm.
but not the reinforced leather jacket, so you're fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is 2 daggers like normal? It wouldn't be bulky, would it?
No, but I think that 2 daggers counts as 2 weapons. Each
2
has
weapons?
1.
yeah, it's 2.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm still having 2 daggers. I mean, the advantage is too useful.
Are you over your encumbrance? Or
No, I'm
whatever
on it now.
inventory. All right, fine. I kind of like open my tin of coffee and smell it deeply, and like stow it away in my knapsack or whatever I've got that I've carried it in.
I'll fondle my green hat for a while before I put it on my head, and then casually shuffle the old pack of cards that I carry with me.
Are you all putting your sort of grit back after combat? Because I presume again you're taking a breather after each sort of
I
thing.
should remember. Yeah, we will take a breather.
I haven't been, but I don't know how much of a breather we're taking, but we can take a. I think this seems
I
like
mean,
a good
searching through
space
the
to have taken
carriage.
a breather.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think, like I said, when it is a breather, it is literally a sort of, like I said, was it catch your breath, have a sip of water. I think the idea is you should get it back after most combats because you don't have a lot of it.
Mm-hmm. For the sake of there's provisions in here, I'll fill up my water canteen. Maybe grab an extra day's rations just for the hell of it.
Yeah, is that doable? Can we grab another
Yeah,
day's rations?
Sort of, sort of, like dried meats and stuff like that would work good as rations.
It feels too much to grab like loads of days rations, so I'll just do 1.
You could grab loads.
I'm also going to ditch this.
Your slots.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ditch this
how much
club as well.
Do we know?
Does it say how much?
I don't think it did. So it's just a regular item for days rations.
Rations,
oh no, three days of rations is 1 slot. So you get so if you want to go over 3 days, it's another slot.
Then I'm maxed out. Never mind.
Then I'll take your rations and go up to 5, and then
just have 6.
Have mine as well. I wasn't going to take an extra.
I'll go up to 6 rations and take 2 slots with it, and then we can always share them back out later.
Was there another weapon other than you said you were dumping your club?
I've got like a mean-looking machete that Deferred likes to use to hurt people.
Got it.
Have you already got your machete? Because I was going to say if you want there to be a machete in there, there is a.
Well, I don't mind whether this is a machete that Deferred has long used or a machete that's hanging around, but Deferred is now wielding a machete, which he likes the look of.
Okay, yeah. My idea is, within reason, you could find most of the things that are in the items table here that aren't marked as rare. And then isn't like an animal. You can't find a horse in here.
Hey, could we get a rucksack? Is that a thing? That would definitely be a bit troll, wouldn't it?
Well, does the rucksack like cost?
Well, there's like
stuff
a sash or something. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I think
the bandolier.
Yeah, bandolier. That would be good.
That just stops lead from taking up space, doesn't it?
That's useful.
Right?
Yeah, go on then. There'll be a bandolier in here.
Yeah, I'm having that.
Some people have all the luck.
What
about a wagon?
oh yeah.
Anyway,
there's a wagon, but nothing to pull it. You guys have to.
Yeah, we'll hitch it to the train.
That's what Langdon's for.
Right. I would like to look at what's in the next room if I can peek through.
You see a steel box, sort of floor to ceiling on this thing. There is a walkway round that takes up most of this carriage, and there is a small barred window set into the sort of door of it.
Have a look at this. Not what I was expecting.
Do we think that might be where the pink orb is?
Or our guns.
Hmm.
Or a load of cash.
I prefer the latter two. I know what to do with those.
Well, by my reckoning, there's another 2 carriages on the front of this, I think. With stuff in, anyway. Can we even get in this one?
You,
Only
if
one
you
way to
want to
find
try the door,
out.
you can. Do you want to try the door?
Does it look like it's got a lock on
You
it?
mean the carriage door rather than steel box door?
Oh, wait. Oh,
So
there's a
there's
steel box in the carriage.
Within the carriage, there's this
Got
massive
it.
steel box.
Yeah, I will probably try the door if we didn't think there was anyone there again. Kind of slowly once everyone's ready.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, the carriage door opens inwards quite easily, and you can go in. You can't see anyone lurking.
All right, cool. What was there like a slit? You said there's like a slit on the or
Yeah.
a barred thing on. Then I'll kind of like carefully like see if I can look in without getting too close.
Okay. Yeah, you look in, and as you look in, you can sort of hear a rumbling snore, and you get a sort of animal scent fill your nose, and you see a large, massive sleeping bear. So bears are pretty big. This is really pretty fucking big. Almost filling this cage.
What is it?
It's that man that took a liking for you 2 towns back.
I thought I could smell him. I will joke, probably having caught the smell of animal.
It's a bear. A fucking huge bear.
Why the hell are they holding a bear? I will slowly walk round, just have a look at this metal cage.
Yeah, it's a big steel box, essentially. There is a door on the other side as well. The same sort of window.
Is either one of these doors big enough for the bear to exit from, presumably?
Yeah, they're pretty big.
I will kind of just be like looking at the cage and tapping my chin and just going,
Back in the land I came from a long time ago, there were these Italians. They used to fight people and animals against each other. These big stadiums. Maybe that's what they're trying to do here.
why would they take it on a train, though? Sure,
They didn't have trains.
No, I mean this train. Sure, there's bears nearby. There's forests out there. Do you reckon if we got this door open, this bear would make a real mess of everyone else on the train?
Us.
Yeah, we'd be alright. We'd be out of the way.
What about those back there?
Yeah, okay, fair enough. It's probably a bit messy. Be funny though.
Like if I peer in closer, there's not like also a lockbox in that room that may contain guns.
No,
Okay.
there is just bear.
Is it be a safe place to keep them?
Unfortunately, you're in the woods for it to be able to have a shit as well, and that's it.
Well, that's certainly interesting.
Sensing no one else agrees with the let's release the bear idea, I'm going to head forward to the next carriage, I guess.
Yeah, you going for the same sort of peering through the crack.
Peek in.
I'll have a peek this time if everything looks the same.
No prisoners in this one, but looks to be some hammocks strung up that are occupied. It's quite dark, so it's hard to sort of work out how many are in there. But
This looks
definitely
like
some of the hammocks are occupied.
This looks like quarters of guards and stuff. Might be quite a few of them in here. Can't tell. We could
Does it
try.
look very dark in there?
Pretty dark, yeah. Like,
Does it look dark enough that if we moved through today, people wouldn't recognise us?
oh, what do I think, Jack?
I think it's potential. Yeah, if you've got a crossbow sort of each, and you walking like you should be walking through there, and you roll well.
Sure. Okay. Well, I will nod, but I'll kind of shake my head and go. Might still be safer going over the top if they're not paying attention, though.
Might be. Berzold?
How loud is it typically when we swing a door open, Jack? Pretty loud, like the train sound and the traveling and wind sound and stuff.
Yeah, I think with the opening the door, it's all of a sudden going to be. It's not the door that makes the noise. Obviously, it's the outside
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
Um,
So if they're sleeping in there,
Also,
they're all going to wake up, and it will cast some more light in as we open the door.
there were only 5 guards behind us in 3 carriages. If 3 guards start wandering in here, if any of them have any brains, they're going to start wondering who the heck's guarding those 3 carriages.
Yeah, I think if we're going, we should go over the top and just try our best to be quiet.
One problem is if the next carriage makes noise and they draw attention, then we're fighting 2 carriages in one go. So not dealing with them might be worse. If we could try and lock that carriage door shut on the other end, maybe that would be helpful. Or let them go, as I thought of earlier, if we have time.
We could release that entire carriage. We could rush over the top of the carriage,
Go
not
quick.
worry
Release
about
all of
making
it.
too much noise, and release that carriage and
And
everything
quick.
behind it.
prisoners.
But they're in no worse position if we do that.
That's
It's
true.
clear-
That's true.
It's clear that we are the perpetrators of what's happened back there.
I mean, why the hell would the guards be guarding them in the middle of nowhere in a train carriage? They're free. We got to be quick, though. I doubt we'll all make it over without making a noise.
So just run and release it.
Or we try and be quiet, and the second we realise we're not being, we run.
I'm
I
not
would
going to get
speed.
across quietly.
Come on, let's just do it. Gripping onto the ladder, looking at folks.
is the plan to just leg it across?
I'll
and then-
I'll follow up the back.
Yeah, leg it across and decouple.
I've already got like my pick in my hand, assuming that it might help with decoupling the train carriages, whacking something loose.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm
Well,
gonna grab my club from the other thing. I might be able to jam it into like the doorway or something, or if there's a handle or something. I don't know what the doors look like, but it's an idea.
well, yeah, if they open inwards, and it's got like a
Maybe,
sort of loop handle, then
maybe.
that's a good idea. Cool. I think then we'll go with a strength. Well, I'm guessing you, legging it across. You're not trying to be quiet. Then you are just going for speed.
Yeah, I'm at the front trying to decouple as soon as I get down the other end.
Okay, let's go with a strength for trying to decouple. Are you putting a thing in the door then? We'll go with a dex for trying to block the door quickly without fumbling it.
You know what, Defern? Why don't we swap?
Sure. No, I think that's fair.
I'll do the door. You do the pick.
And I will be stealing a glance through into the next cart if possible, so that I can be prepared if there are more guards in there that might come this way.
I trust Berthold to do that as the most balanced of all of us.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I rolled a 9 on my strength, which is a success.
I failed mine.
It would have been a fail on my dex, though.
I would have failed on both. 15.
Yeah, it's looking like another solid hit will probably decouple that.
Great.
If I get a chance, I will continue to flail around on this door.
You hear movement as guards start to run, and one of them actually gets to the door.
I'm just holding the door now.
Okay, yeah. In the other cart, this carriage, from where you can see, looks a bit more put together than the others. You can't see a crack to look through.
Foiled at last.
Finally, someone's done some maintenance.
7 carriages in a row. The same crack. It's just the same asset for every door, isn't it?
I got guns on in this carriage that we're sending off down the.
Yeah, true.
Swanee.
Oh my gosh, we're letting the carriage go. I wonder if Jack would be nice if we did that accidentally, or if we wouldn't. I don't know. Don't reveal anything. It's great to keep the suspense.
We just drive the train back and hunt them down.
Yeah, true. We totally would.
I guess it's a strength roll from both of you. One, Eleanor for holding the door shut. Is
Not so
Berthold going to help, or are you still hoping to try and find a crack or make a crack?
I might take one of the knives and
Mm-hmm.
jimmy a bit of a wooden panel off, if possible,
Quietly,
Okay.
I imagine.
to try and peek through.
I'll
Yeah.
make my strength then.
With that, then, yeah, you look through and you see what's a lot nicer than the other carriages. It's almost like a half decent sort of boarding room, if that makes sense, on wheels. So it's like furnishings for 2 people. It's not, it's not a luxury carriage, but compared to the rest of the train, it is. Within, you can see the vulture head guy and the rat face guy that ambushed you last session. They've not yet noticed the new hole in their wall.
I have failed my strength.
Okay. What about Alan? Has he managed to decouple the...
Well, I made one roll and it was a successful strength roll. Do you want me to make a second roll?
Yeah, we'll do another one to...
Right. Slightly better than 50-50. And I rolled a 4, which even would have passed my dex roll if I wanted to go for it. But yeah, so that's a success.
Okay. The guy managed to sort of wrench the door open out of Eleanor's hand, as obviously the locomotive is still pulling your carriage ahead.
Eleanor's the wrong side of this carriage, by the way.
No, I'm pulled back now.
Okay, cool. Because I just put it out there like...
I'm just like bridging the two.
Yeah.
He's going to do a shout, though, which Berthold, looking through, will see that the rat face and the vulture head will hear this and sort of perk up and be aware that something is happening now.
We need to get in. This is a bad place to be. Presumably, there's only like a tiny platform. Or
Yeah, it's not much of a,
I'll relay who's in there, and then
Let's go.
prep the crossbow, Al.
As best I can in this space, I do, but I feel like I'm half clinging onto the train.
And I'll do a 3, 2, 1 countdown, but incredibly quickly with my fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, they might be coming this way, so I need to let them know when I'm going to do it, but it's like... And I just boot it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, you boot the door, and like I say, inside you see the guy with a vulture for a head and the guy with a rat. Well, not with he's got a vulture's head. He hasn't got a whole vulture for his head.
That'd be cool though too.
That's scarier, I think.
Yeah, I'd say that's more unsettling. Like flapping around. Oh,
circling.
Try
to look at
you. Oh gosh, I've never imagined this, but this is a new thing in my brain to imagine. Sorry, really.
and you see that they are holding what looks like very familiar guns. Just remind me what guns you all had.
I had
Nice,
a
so
Manticore ironwood grip rifle.
Yes.
I had a walnut bumbler grip repeater
And I've got a 6-shooter.
with.
You can't see the grip from how he's holding it.
Oh. If he's holding it,
He might be holding it like a club.
No, I can describe the gun when I get it back in my hands.
he's got his teeth.
Yeah, you see one with the rat face with the repeater, and the vulture with the rifle, and then the vulture's also got the revolver.
I can't
in a
believe he's
holster.
using the rifle over the 6-shooter in this situation, but never mind. Let's go for it. Let's try these fucks who's boss. And yeah, I'm gonna do some running at them.
Yeah,
Crossbow first, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
yeah. Take.
I'm shooting the one that's holding my gun. Which one was it?
You had the repeater, which was the rat.
The rat it is. Let's hit that.
Shoot the rat.
face. That's a 6. Pretty good.
Nice. That's a good solid hit
Mhm.
on the repeater rat. What are you other guys doing?
I'm gonna
I'm
go after
going-
the vulture face.
With the rifle. For
with-
two
yeah.
reasons. One, it's my rifle, and two, like up close and personal is better with somebody wielding a rifle than being like further away from it. So yeah.
Would you like to go
charging on me.
first, or
I can do. So I've got advantage. I've kept a knife and a dagger. So do I still get the damage advantage for the two?
Yeah, if you're using both, you get the damage advantage.
That is a 5.
5.
that's good? And I rolled in with a 6.
Oh, nice.
So my dice are turning in my favour. For I'm good at stabbing things, which I'm not surprised by because I feel like that's the Fern's shtick. Brute force.
So yeah, you guys are gonna charge at him. Repeater rat. He's gonna shoot at Eleanor. What's that? 9. Where's that shoot table gone? Okay, that's a graze. So D4 damage on Eleanor is 3. And then take away your defense from that because these
no
aren't.
defense.
Oh.
Maybe some defense. There was defense available.
Yeah, you should have took that padded leather jacket.
Yeah. what an
Standoff.
And Alan did most damage, so the other one's going to take a shot at him. That is 2 damage, reduced by
Which-
whatever your
And one of
defense.
which gets soaked. So I'm down to 6. Should we go for this again?
Yes.
I might peel off and attack the
Just
other
head
one.
home.
Yeah, no, I'm off. That's me, guys.
Well, we tried, we failed.
You know, I mean that's good. But before this other one with the repeater can really, you know, reload and or get. I think it's better to engage with them rather than let them shoot Eleanor. So
Yeah, that
I'm gonna
makes
do
sense.
I'm going to roll. I rolled another 6. I don't think it rolled properly.
Wow.
I'm happy to take a re-roll on this.
No, keep the 6. It's fine,
So
Jeff.
yeah, keep the 6. I'm like
We've rolled pretty well, haven't we? This.
very lucky.
What were you
If
going
I-
at him with? Was it the machete?
I'm just turning and swinging a machete down his rat face.
Oh yeah, it cleaves his rat face in
Yeah.
In twain.
twain.
Twain. Cleave the rat face in twain.
I'm going for the other guy with 2 knives again.
They call him 2 Nice Bert Hold.
That's a 5 again. Not quite a 6. As you may or may not know.
I'm gonna also try to capture the repeater before it hits the floor. Such a it's already been touched up by rats. This thing is to get back to Eleanor as soon as possible.
Yeah,
Appreciate
you
that.
make some good chunks into his meat, but he is still standing. And what was Eleanor doing? Are you reloading or?
Well, the rat one's dead, right? As it's squealing, dying. Okay, well, given there's only one of them left, and I'd like to have a chance, I'm just going to draw a dagger and jump at the one that Bertol's fine. I think.
Okay.
It's more fun. Dagger's a d6, right?
Yes.
I think I probably don't have time to draw both daggers because I have a spare one now. But I'll just
No, because you've got the crossbow.
Yeah, I'm just drawing the one to hand effectively. I feel like the other one's now in my pack or something. That's a 6 anyway, so that's good.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Some good rolls.
Let's separate the vulture from the rest of the body, shall we?
That's the famous saying, isn't it?
How you do it?
just like Grandad used to say to me all the time.
It finally become relevant. All these years.
I never knew what he was talking about until now.
He is going to swing. In fact, there's an enemy actions table that I've not used this evening. So let's use that.
I'll kill all of you.
Okay, cool. Attack. So he's going to swing the rifle as a club at Bertold.
That's a bad miss.
D6 is 3 damage at Bertold as soon as you've been stabbing him.
But
3
2 get
damage.
soaked.
Yeah, 2 get soaked now. So that's nice. Thanks,
Armor
leather
is
jacket.
So good. So good.
You're welcome.
Well, don't forget I did pretty semi-permanently lose 2 strength last session as a result of damage. So
did you? Oops.
Yeah, if you get hit past your grit, you start taking damage on your stats, and it's some ridiculous amount of time / effort to get that back.
Yeah,
cool.
So my strength, I have 14 in strength, 8 in dex, and 8 in heart, and my strength is down to 12 temporarily, but basically permanently.
Defern's happy.
First session.
Finally, Defern is the strong character.
What do you guys want to do next?
So the vulture one's still alive after all the stabbing.
Still alive, yeah. He's been stabbed.
I'm going to press the repeater into Eleanor's hands, if I get a chance. You can shoot.
Action for the thing is,
Yeah, sure. Yeah. If that gives me a chance.
I'm gonna give Eleanor, I'd rather return Eleanor her gun than nothing would be more important right now.
I'm gonna double stab the vulture man again.
Yeah.
And that is a 4. I just can't roll a 6.
Well, yeah, you do a double stab. Are you going one in each sort of kidney?
In each kidney, it's always the kidneys.
I think that almost feels weird. I feel like they'd be slightly offset, so maybe one in the rib and one in the kidney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like going like that feels artificial, whereas kind of going.
Yeah, when I stab,
you know what I mean?
When I think about stabbing,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It just feels a bit too much like you're a crab or something, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just feels a bit odd. Yeah.
You don't want to feel weird when you stab.
No.
All the times I've double stabbed a vulture-headed man on a train, I've gone slightly offset.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We can talk about it later.
Either way, he's dead.
Good.
Great.
I will have cocked the repeater just at the point of firing as he falls, but not once.
Yeah. Well,
I'll immediately take my rifle back
and re-sling my pistol.
Whereabouts? Which one had the pistol, Jack? Just
the vulture one.
The vulture. Yeah.
I will bend down to grab the pistol and hand it to the phone.
The gun belt, yeah. That'll be how you hand it to me.
The whole sash, yeah.
Oh, he's still got all of my lead.
Yeah, is the lead untouched? That's true.
Yeah, the lead's untouched. I'm not going to make you track. Oh, they took a shot each. That's like, oh no.
They've just been shooting cans.
You've got literally one bullet left in the
Can
whole
you
thing.
imagine?
That's it.
All gone. Those are the most precious
Yeah.
resource of the game. Oh, they
Well,
just-
I'll draw my silver gripped 6-shooter with the inlay of a sword. There you go. And go, yeah, still looks as good as ever. And kiss it. Like, because Defern is weird like that. And then I'll also use the silver to check my own face and see how bad this cut is on the side of my head.
Ugh.
To anyone else, it doesn't look so bad, but I imagine any blemish is.
He literally will spend the rest of the time doing this until you tell him to do something
I will
else.
almost immediately say, God damn it, Defern, it's nothing. Do you want me to give you a worse
Well,
one?
I can't just, no offense, Eleanor, but I don't trust your opinion on these things.
I'm going to walk to the other side of the carriage to see if there's anyone else, rather than punch Defern.
Yeah, there's no one else.
Mm-hmm.
Just the driver.
Yeah, if I look ahead, I'm going to just open the door and see if I can see ahead at this point.
Yeah, you've got like the ones that have all the coal in.
Yeah.
And then...
So there's no one immediately who's coming from that side. No. Okay, in that case, I'll turn around and go, let's search here. Driver's up front, I guess.
Is there anything else worth having in this carriage? Or on them?
Nothing massively of note, unless you want to take one of their sabers.
A saber is a big upgrade in weapon.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
But I've only just got this machete, and I quite like the machete. But an upgraded weapon is an upgraded
go
weapon.
For a saber. I mean, what is a saber?
It's a D8 rather than a D6.
Ooh, it's tempting. Well, I will not hesitate and grab a saber, so that's probably given.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might be heavy. I'm not 100% sure. Sabre.
I'll have a look. I think I've got a bit of spare kit space now anyway.
It's not heavy, no. Elegant, cross-handled, curved, one-handed. Saber. D8.
Yeah, so I'm picturing like a cavalry sort of saber. That's
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Who's taking the other one?
2-knife Berthold. So I'll
saber. Not that
It's a very Defern sort of weapon. A saber.
I do like the saber. I'll definitely take it. And
Silver handle,
I'll look for French cavalry overalls in my spare time.
Is there nothing else in here, like documents or anything that might give us a clue what's going on here?
Yeah.
Nothing that you can see.
I do think we should go back for those prisoners.
Let's get up front. We can stop the train first. Go on.
We can pull it up. You can sit on top of the wagon, get some shooting practice in.
Does anyone know if Sykes could run a train? There's only one person we haven't seen yet.
Barely ran a team.
I bet he's not here. He's a coward.
Yeah, I bet he ain't.
He'll have taken the money and run.
Come on, let's see who it is anyway.
Let's go.
Yeah, you sort of climbing over the coal one and we'll go into the engineer. And it's not Sykes dressed as a train engineer, as much as that would be fun. He's a regular dude driving the train, looking very shocked, and he's like, he recognizes it.
Oh,
yeah. I'll be casually pointing the gun at him and then drop it when he does that and just say, "Stop train."
He stops
yelling.
This is just a job to him, driving the train. He's not necessarily going to stand up to 3 gunslingers. Yeah.
I mean,
where are we heading? Where are we heading?
Camp Wallach.
Do we know of this place, Jack?
You've not heard of it, but he tells you it's the prison camp. Where we take prisoners. I don't know what they do there with them, but I've never taken any prisoners out of there.
How long have you been working for the creatures?
A few months. Look, I just drive the train. I drive the train the other way if you want.
Eleanor's looking a bit bloodthirsty.
What was the name? Goodman?
Oh yeah. The good man. He's
Is he there?
he's probably got better things to do than run a prison camp. He's was he trying to civilize the world? I think is what he wants to do.
Sounds like a monster.
If you guys are gunslingers, I can he's got it out for you lot. He's, for some reason, not a
It's been a
fan.
long time since this world has been civilized, and things aren't going in that direction.
Well, between you and me, it's probably not going to go that direction with him. Civilizes.
Yeah, can mean many things to many people.
But he's
We're
got
gonna-
trains running, so he's
Oh,
that bad.
I have heard this before.
Yep. Trains are slaves and monsters. Can't be that bad. I'm still eyeing this train.
We
driver.
dropped off a few people a little further down the tracks. We should go back and collect them.
We still have to deal with those guards. Alternative.
I was just going to say, we also dropped off an entire train cart full of sleeping guards.
I mean, they might not want to fight.
I think the guards could we can convince them to leave without too much of a trouble.
Just open the carriage, show them those two dead. They won't want to fight.
I think you probably look pretty badass with all your gear on and guns.
I don't release the bear. Like that's basically what we're gonna do. Release the bear. Let them go into the woods. Release the bear. Like
That's a point. Do you know what the bear was for?
He doesn't have any idea. I just drive the train, mate.
Fair enough.
Now, Jack, I'm gonna ask you a question. I don't want to tax your GM preparedness too much, but where did we leave from? Because I'm wondering if that's a place that rings a bell for us.
You would
Like it could be like you could just say a location that it's somewhere that we know about before or something, or do we get taken from somewhere that was new to us as well?
It was new to you, yeah.
Right.
I mean, these two would have been definitely unconscious as well anyway when they're loading on the train. You didn't recognise the place.
To be fair,
Okay.
I suppose the place we were traveling to in the desert we weren't familiar with, so we were kind of in the middle of nowhere, weren't we?
Yeah.
Well, that's the way of things.
Yeah. Let's head back, reverse, and pick up the rest of the train.
Yeah.
It's unlikely for people who are not gunslingers to have guns, right?
Yeah, the guns are quite rare, especially the
Yeah.
kind of guns that you've got. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Right, then
The
let's
train is
reverse
reversing.
it, and I think if we let off a warning shot,
I'm not wasting any lead. I'm just going to get one of the bodies of one of those creatures and hold it at the back to show
that's-
looking as impressive as possible.
Reverses towards them.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So let's go back and then slow it down when we get close to them, so they can see us chucking the bodies off the back of the train,
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of the guards that are sort of stood
milling.
about like, what do we do? They've got the crossbows. And I think if you're reversing the train and you have got a body there, not necessarily up for a fight at this point.
No.
Yeah.
The odds have turned against them. You guys all, you've killed
If
their
we get
body.
close enough to yell at them, I'll tell them to just get out of here, get lost.
If we were doing this properly, we'd take their belts. But you know,
Do you want to do that,
we
or-
don't always have time.
I've already yelled that.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to stop him.
Yeah, I think with that, the guards scarper into the woods nearby.
Mm-hmm. Does it look like the prisoners are doing similar? I'm
Yeah,
curious.
like I think giving them an opportunity to like we're gonna do, like we can be pretty straight. We're about to do something really stupid. So
Yeah, I think the guards realizing no one's coming to help them at this point aren't too concerned about the prisoners who will also run away if if that's what you tell them to do.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, they could stay if they want. I'm not.
they
telling
can stay if they
them
want. Yeah,
I guess I will recouple the carriage and then go have a look.
we've probably had some time to talk as well in this meantime. and Defern is of the opinion that we should like get this train to travel at full speed into this prisoner camp and upturn in a mad accident, taking many lives.
Oh no.
That's
No,
Defern's plan.
We show up in there pretending everything's perfectly normal, and then oh no, a bear's got loose. That's much more fun.
No, the old bear loosey goosey trick.
Followed by us, of course.
Yeah, we could just leave.
This sounds like way too much fun. Plus, if Sykes is anyway, he's there.
Is he? But
Oh,
I think
come
if there are any gunslingers there, we should. It would be the right thing to try and get them out.
You both know we're ending up there one way or another.
Yeah.
So one of you want to go tell that train driver? On we go.
Yeah. I'm curious to know. The train driver doesn't have as much of a choice as all the other prisoners, but do any of the prisoners want to help in this thing, or are they all, happy to take their chances?
I think they're all happy to take some of the supplies out of the thing.
Even what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Oh no, yeah. You've got Langdon. He'll stick
Langdon's
around.
still here. Hey, good old Langdon. I'll even show Langdon where like some of the bandages are in the supply cart for his shoulder.
Yeah, you sort him out.
How far is it to this camp?
The engineer tells you it's a couple of days travel on the train.
Right. Well then, I best get started.
Did you say there were 2 rooms in the posh carriage?
It's set up for 2 people to sleep in there. It's not like 2 rooms, but there's like 2 beds.
No, well, that's all right. We're not going to sleep at the same time anyway. Well, I could go for a bit of
It's more comfy than anything we've had before.
I could go for a bit of shut-eye. It's been a long day.
Yeah. I think like in theory, one of us should sit up front with the driver, so that he doesn't decide to not drive the train anymore. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Oh, if that sounds like your plan, with a sort of that seems like a good place to end it for this.
Yeah,
week.
Sounds good.
As you sort of hope it wasn't too railroady for you guys.
Oh, you'd save that. You.
A whole train-based session just for one joke at the end.
That's perfect comedy.
Perfect. Now, out of curiosity, Jack, were you like, as a GM, trying to plan ways to make us take the initiative in the first carriage? Or did you think we would just go for it immediately as happened?
I figured you'd probably just go for it. I mean, I did have a think of what if they just go, we'll just see where this train ends up. And I was like, do I have to plan the whole end thing? And then
that didn't turn out to be a problem.
I suppose we had like 3 days to make our move.
Yeah.
In theory.
But I figured you guys would have caused disruption anyway. It's just a thing players, I think, naturally end up doing.
I just loved how fast it was.
Yeah. I was really concerned that I was, like that you weren't expecting us to do that, and I was making you have to come up with what was in all of these train cars just because I decided I was going to bite this guy's ear.
The train cars all sort of mapped out, and like I said, I figured you were going to. You can't
the objective
in a room as prisoners and not expect them to try and escape.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
Particularly when they're gunslingers. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I still got my fatigue as well. I guess we can discuss next session whether we're going to recover grit and fatigue. Well, I'll recover grit.
I think with the sort of 3 days travel and stuff, we'll say back up to strength. I think that includes Berthold's strength reduction as well. You've got some decent provisions in there, and
nice rest.
Yeah, Tony and the whole thing not doing great.
That was a really fun
you, Alan. I'm the strong one again.
Bertold wakes up.
Does the game have any mechanism for like character growth or?
It's a bit weird. So if your grit goes down to exactly 0, you roll on the scars table, and I think with that you can
Get positive things.
Yeah, so if you roll a reference the damage taken on the table below. So if your damage is 1, you get scarred. You roll a d6. If it exceeds your max grit, take the new result. Your grit must be really low to...
Max grit. Roll a
Oh, yeah,
D6
so yeah, your max grit.
So possible for me then, with the 12 grit.
Yeah. Oh, broken. You take a spill and break something, and recovery requires extended rest and healing. Once mended, roll 2d6. If higher than your max grit, take the new result. So
I can't.
It's a strange way of sort of
Just leveling your grit then, basically.
There's ways of maimed when an eye or limb is severed, destroyed, or rendered useless. Odin's choice. Then with a successful heart save, gain d6 max heart.
No, that's pretty cool.
And get your other things higher. But yeah, it's a strange way that you've got to get damaged in a very precise way.
I see.
To then level up.
Cool.
Mm.
Is that what you're aiming for then, Jonny?
Yeah.
I fall back, but enough so I take 1 damage, but no more.
yeah, I love it. Just gonna try and min-max this game.
It's like I've got three grit left, and you're like, yeah, there's 2 damage. I'm like, I paper cut myself
yeah.
Fuck it up.
between the fingers.
I paper cut my eye out. That's what I do.
No.
If it doesn't work though, I'll put it back in.
I think I'm gonna stick with L Road. I prefer that rather than Eleanor. L. I'll go with L. Yeah. I called myself L to what's his name now? To Langdon. That's right. Gonna go with that.
You did.
Put that on my character sheet.
Do you want some comments from the chat?
Yeah, there was some quite good comments in this one. Yeah.
From Steve, one of many Steves. The kick triggers the crossbow.
I mean, that was right when I was holding the crossbow over the guy's head, I think, at the beginning. So, I mean,
I think this is when...
a few seconds later.
Oh, was it? Or was it when the crossbow initially...
Oh, no, that was when it kicked...
No, this was when you kicked it from his hand, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's fair. That could happen, to be fair, as well, couldn't it?
Triggers it, it shoots all 3 of you through
that
the
would be... I suppose that would be a 20.
Also from Steve, shoulders are entirely dispensable.
Yeah.
Well, Langdon's shoulders definitely are.
Yeah. In films or anything, you can get shot in the shoulder, the leg is a good one, and you'll be fine. You can walk it off.
That's really weird for the leg.
Yeah.
Unless nobody sees that you've been shot in that place, and then later you do a little reveal, then you're dying.
There's in the side here.
That's how you get infected.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Because it didn't go through the jacket, but you still got shot there.
Yeah.
So you can do a dramatic reveal later. That's how it works.
From 4242, are the animal heads regularly sized?
Rat head.
Tiny little rat head.
Yeah.
Please
and cannon.
It is easier to split a tiny rat's head with a machete than it is a larger rat head.
I don't know when it's a tiny rat head rather than a rat head monster.
I love to imagine it because it would be really funny in reality. And there's like these really horrible monsters, but whenever you see them, you just can't help but laugh at them, and it just makes them angrier.
Because I imagine they have really high-pitched, squeaky voices.
Yeah,
it's that small.
Oh, that would be great.
And one that's just coming from Steve is the last one. Pity the vulture who has a gunslinger for a head. An entire gunslinger on what would presumably be a constantly spiraling vulture, just trying to stay.
What is this monstrosity? At this point, I'm pretty sure this is just a gunslinger with a vulture for feet. Surely.
Or a vulture on his arse.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
I saw quite a good one from Justin at some point. Oh, made me chuckle. Oh, the 8:45 comment was quite funny.
Oh yeah. By the end, he was a seasoned guard, peppered with bolts. Very good. Very good.
You know.
Yeah, very good.
Not my best work.
But yeah, that was really fun. I enjoyed that. It's a good system.
Yeah, thanks, Jack.
Yeah, I think the combat in it's quite snappy with things automatically hitting, and then something I think we forgot or I forgot to do last week was when the grit is all the way down, they do the critical damage saves. So they roll against the strength, and if they fail, they're sort of incapacitated or dead. Which is these guys suck at making those rolls.
Mm-hmm. Well, we were stomping them as well.
We were very lucky.
Yeah, like compared to the first session, this was just like.
Yeah.
To be fair, we
Good
kind of
steamroll.
shortcutted by skipping the whole
But-
room.
but like,
How
you
many bad
know-
guys were there in that room, Jack?
4 is what I had planned.
Yeah, so we skipped that as well.
To be fair as well, this is probably the result you'd expect for 3 gunslingers against a train.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, regular ass cards, not necessarily.
And we were outnumbering every time as well. Like it wasn't as
Yeah.
if we were.
Yeah, exactly.
lesson,
Nice.
don't be on the other end of the gunslinger's gun.
Mhm. I just added on my notes Langdon with a crossbow.
Yeah, I need to write that down.
Yeah, it's good.
Should we recap on things?
Yeah,
So next
sure.
Wednesday, Simba Room's back. Next Thursday is Wicked Ones.
Yeah.
Uh,
Currently planned, we're not sure.
so next Monday, Warhammer.
Mhm.
Next Wednesday, Simba Room. Next Thursday, Wicked Ones. And then and that's going to be the last streamed Wicked Ones.
Yeah, we think so.
And then on Thursday, the 30th of May, should be the first Yellow King episode, which Matt is running. And we will be rescheduling the Cloud Empress that was supposed to be this weekend for some point in the future. But if you join us on Discord, which is linked below, or on the social medias, but you'll get updated with when those things definitely are. I think that's everything. And this is back in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
We'll have it next week. That's 2 weeks. I'm really looking forward to more of this. So fun.
Yes. Cool. Is there anything else?
I think that's everything.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah.
So catch you all next week for Warhammer and 2 weeks for this.
Bye.
Bye-bye.